I'm with Nigel Rice, Transport and Storage, and the driver of the new electric truck, Leon. We're just going to get a bit of an opinion of Leon about the actual electric vehicle. So Leon, how long have you had an electric vehicle for at the moment?
About 3 months now, give or take, a week.
Okay, and this is a new one today that you're in?
Yep, it's relatively quite similar to the Renault that I've just used it as a test.
Yeah, and so in general, what's your opinion of electric vehicles before and now?
So, having HGV experience, jumping into electric from a normal diesel truck, it can be quite timid, it can be a bit nerve-wracking because you seem to be more dependent on your range and charge. It's something you need to be a bit conscious of, but once you start getting used to it and being a bit more pre-planning on what your mileage can do, how far you can go and how much you can recharge, and if you're actively using it, that can actually help you. Once you get used to all that, it can make you feel a bit more confident. Through my day-to-day, I've found when I've halfway done through my certain deliveries, I have been a bit more comfortable and confident in how much charge I have, because I've got used to using the recharger and driving a bit more cautiously.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
How has this vehicle and the previous electric vehicle been accepted by customers and the comments they've come out?
A lot of people do ask us, is that electric? And they do come up with the talk like, oh, how far does that get, and that sort of stuff. I do tell them that it does only have roughly around 130 miles with my type of driving, cautious driving, and I do explain to them that ideally this type of wagon, the electric wagons, are more inclined to only be like used for local work or work that happens to be around the area, as ideally I don't think it's ready yet for the long distance haulage. But yeah, that's my opinion on it, and that's how I explain it to them.
How do you compare driving this to a diesel truck? Is there any great difference between them driving wise?
So manoeuvring and stuff, and just generally going to places, it can be quite quiet, the truck, so you've got to be a bit more conscious on letting people know that you're there. So whether that be honking or even just opening the window and yelling out, because obviously there's going to be older people out on the road, pedestrians, whatnot, and if you're honking every 2 seconds, you can't be doing that. So you've got to be a bit more conscious on your sound, because people down the road cannot hear you sometimes, and they're totally oblivious to you. And so when you're in a type of work where it might be shop deliveries, home deliveries, that sort of stuff, you've got to be a bit more on the ball with your sound.
So in general, Leon, how does it compare to a diesel truck actually out on the road?
Driving wise, it's near enough mostly the same. It can be a little bit slow on putting it into drive and reverse. You might have to just watch your dashboard to see if it kicks in, because it doesn't, it's not as audible as, let's say, a gear stick in a manual truck or in a, just a normal automatic diesel running engine. So you do have to be a bit more observant on your dashboard to make sure it's in gear, because I've had times where you have pressed it and it's just taken an extra press or a few seconds to hold in. You do have to hold your foot brake down on it as well when you put it into gear, I've noticed. Yeah, it's just being a bit more patient with it is what ideally works with the wagon.
Excellent.